Hi, this is Roshan and Sahiti. Both of us are going to demonstrate the Event Explore app that we have done for our final project, Android programming, H691. So, before we start demonstrating, let me start off with the gist of what exactly the app is. The Event Explore app that we have developed forms a platform where both the users who is hosting the event and as well as the user who is buying the event gets communicated with each other. So the user who wants to host the event using this platform can host the event and he can sell the tickets. So and on other end, the user who wants to register to the event, go for the event, can select events according to his kind of interest and register for the event. So now you could see a movement background which is coming up. So this is an video view which is coming up in the background. So and also the username and password which is there. So the registration and login has been integrated over here. Roshan has uh, done the registration part. So he would explain how exactly login works.
Okay, thank you. The login is handled by basically two activities without the help of any third-party libraries. What I mean is directly the username and password are authenticated. If it is a new user who's downloading the app for the first time, he'll have to get into the register here. He'll have to click on this, which will start a new activity. Here he will have to give his credentials, and depending on the email and the username, which has to be unique, he will be, if it is unique, and depending on various criteria, he will be registered as a user, and he will be guided back to the login activity which you saw first, which with which he will have to log into the app again. Basically, the login is achieved by using shared preferences. If the user has logged into an app, like most of the apps, it stays logged in till he hits the logout button. His credentials will be saved in the shared preferences. So let's say he's a registered user and he's trying to log into the app now. So now he is being authenticated, and we reach the main activity, the main categories list, from which where he can select the various events. So this will be explained. This recycler view holding the various events will be explained by Sahiti.
Now on successful user login, so he'll be directed to the categories which are there. As you can see, there are a number of categories which are coming up in the recycler view: music, health, business, health and fitness, sports, and all that. So, for example, being a user, I'm interested in seeing the music. So now, seeing what are the events that are coming up under the music. So, on click of the music, a new activity gets started. It's a new pager activity where the first page shows what are the events that are there in the music, and you can also see the number of people going to the event, the number of seats that are left, and as well as the address and timing, including the rating and price of the event. And when you go to the next page, you can see the popular events coming up. Popular events in the sense, all the categories, what are the popular events that are there in the event portal as of now. And even this is in recycler view, which is a grid layout. So on top of it, you could see some slideshow coming up. It is a view flipper where I have put some couple of images coming up. And coming to the next view, next page, that is the next fragment. This view page has the three fragments. You can see the events which are in this week and this month and next month. These three recycler views which has different data according to the URL that you sent. So when you scroll it, you can see the different data under this month or next month. So now let's go back to the main music page. I mean, music page in the sense the category with music which holds all the events. So now, for example, I want to now we can see an overflow button. Okay, now before that, I wanted to tell you something. In this view pager activity, if you click on any recycle view item, it gets directed to the detailed activity. But before that, I just wanted to show you the options that I could do with this recycle view. Each row in the recycle view. When you click on the overflow button over there, you can have two options. One is save event and as well as share event. When I click on save event, so now when I click on save event, so the event is being added to the saved list. So now let's see whether the event. So now here you can now we previously have shown overflow button where I can get an option to save Taylor Swift. So now here you can see Taylor Swift coming up. So in the saved events list, now this is a recycler view which has a swipe view list. So what I mean swipe view list, the menu options are there as a swipe view. So this open and delete are the swipe menu options. So I have integrated the library swipe menu list library here in order to get the swipe view over here. So now I have two options. When I click open, it gets redirected to the delete list, and when I click delete, it gets deleted from the recycler view list. For example, I'm clicking delete. So yeah, it got deleted. So you can see only AR is not possible. So yeah, now let's go back to our home. And one thing, when the user saves, in case if he is already added it to the save list, the backend takes care of not taking the redundant data. For example, if I've already added Ironman Hospitals and save events, again clicking on Ironman save events doesn't work because it's already there. So backend have taken care of the redundant data. So now since I demonstrated the save event, when I save overflow button, the share is being implemented. I'm going to explain how exactly the share.
So basically what happens during the share is like in most modern apps today, let's say a user is going to an event which he plans to go. He's not yet bought the tickets for it, but he plans to go and he wants to share it with his friends. So that is what we are enabling through the share, so through the share action provider. So when let's say he wants to share it through Hangouts to one of his friends, so what happens is by default from the database, the details of the event, let's say your friend, his name Test, which is the test name provided in the event, shared the event so and so, Taylor Swift at this place, her concert at New York on this day with you. So you can actually send the message to the person through the app, so letting the people know that he is going to be there. And so that is how the share action provider is made use of. So you can see a message was triggered, a live message is triggered to a friend. So coming back, we have reached the music. So on click of this, Sahiti will explain how a detailed activity opens up, having the details of this event.
So now when I click the same Taylor Swift event, so in the usage activity, any recycler view would do the same thing. So then after a few seconds, you could see a small fragment coming up. It is registered with the event price. So that is a small fragment where I have I have made a small thread and I think that's for 3 minutes. And after 3 minutes, the fragment comes up from the bottom. So now in the detail event, you could see start date and date time, and if you scroll down, a bit up, you could see a YouTube YouTube which is being integrated into that. The YouTube is the fragment which is being integrated here. So when he clicks on that, on the YouTube, he could see something image posted or something. Yeah. So now, so the video has been integrated, and now here you could see Google Maps.
One second. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes.
So here you could see Google Maps that is pointing to the current location where you are. So this Google Maps has been integrated by Roshan over here. So he would explain how exactly it works.
So basically what it does is we are trying to let the user know, see the New York 272 Manhattan Avenue is the place where the event is being held, but the map is zoomed in, a map which is Google Map. We are making use of the Google Maps API. First step to use the API would be to have a key, get a Google key, API key, which you get, integrate with your, combine with your application package name and use it in your application. To this could be used to enable the Google Maps version 2 or the YouTube API. One of the things to be point of difficulty was that both these are fragments within fragments and had to be handled. The on destroy method had to be manually handled. So when this Google Maps opens up, it is through the GPS services, it is logged in, it is zoomed in to the current location of the user. So East Colvin Street is the current location from where I am accessing, from where I am now. So on click of the map, what happens is we trigger a intent, and it will tell him, gathering the two locations, that is the starting point and the ending point, we tell him how far and how from to where to he's supposed to navigate. So this was his current location. So on click, yes, on click of this, I am launching an activity. Basically, you trigger a HTTP web browser request with the starting latitude and longitude, which would be my location, and to where the destination is. So now it opens up the Google website, the browser with the request, the two, basically the longitude and the latitude points, and tells him how he can reach there. So giving him an idea what's the distance and what are the various options of travel he has. As you can see here, Syracuse Regional Transport Center. So this is a very useful feature which gives him a practical feel whether he can actually be at an event or not. So as you can see here, it's giving him, if he's going by train, what are the various options he has today, or by car, if he takes car, how long he's going to take there. So these are the various things that goes in. So Sahiti will explain how after this, let's say he's interested now. You've got the user and how he is going to buy the ticket.
Okay, now let's say that I really it is an eye-catching thing. So I found all the information regarding to the event, and I want to register to the event. On click of this register button, you can see a ripple view coming.
So on click of this register button, uh, this ticket registration comes into picture, where the ticket cost, number of people going, and ticket available would be there. So now if I enter number of tickets as 2, the total ticket cost would become 80. So 40 into 2 is 80. So now here the PayPal has been integrated. Now if I click pay with PayPal, PayPal comes. Roshan has integrated the PayPal. Now he would talk about how exactly the PayPal is done.
We wanted to simulate something similar to what the in-app purchase or what we purchase from iStore would be. But others, we were unable to do it with credit cards because of the geographical constraints, because it's not allowed in some places to integrate credit card direct payments in the app. So we went ahead with the PayPal account. So what we need to do when we create a PayPal account is set up a testing environment called as Sandbox. So Sandbox tells all the features same as the real live environment, except that a dummy account is set up with some money in it. so that you can check that check the transaction, the way in which the transaction happens, and you can move forward. So what happens on Pay with PayPal, when you click this, so once it's done, it's listed, so you can pay. So it's $80, and once you pay, that's about it. So it goes, and if you want to confirm, you can go back. See, there's a post coming up that saying that the confirmation has been done, that you have received the payment. So now
So now the ticket, the confirmation ticket, what confirmation is done. So now the ticket gets automatically generated, and it goes into my tickets. So when you go to my tickets, you can see what and all the user has registered. Right now I have registered for Taylor Swift, that is for 2 tickets. So if I press this, so this is a Taylor Swift ticket. I have implemented an unfoldable animation. So it is something like a paper paper which is folded and kept in your wallet. It resembles something like that. So so now previously he has registered for 5 tickets. So now he went and registered for 2 more tickets. So it has become 7 tickets. So you would get address, time, number of tickets, and as well as the barcode, where it will help the user to get an entry to the event. So now talking about this unfoldable animation. So this is a list view which has a image and a name and rating. So now if I click this image view, this is now it has 2 layouts. One is a list view layout, and we have to make the only a part of the list view, that is image view. What I have made is I have given that to the foldable animation, which unfolds the image and it makes as if you are seeing a detailed view. So something like if I click on this animation comes up like this. So this is a foldable animation. Not only this Taylor Swift, previously if you would have registered for any events, if for example A.R. Rahman concert, number of tickets is 1, everything comes up. So now now that all these things got over, now one end of using this app is registering for the event. As I told you before, there's another end of using this app where you can host an event. For example, I want to host an event. For that, I will create a new event, and for that, I will give my host in the sense the person who is hosting the event. So I will give the details. So when I click on submit, so it again a ripple effect I have put. So when I click next, it goes, and again if this host has already been registered, the backend takes care of not piling up with the redundant data. So let me make it as California as state, and city as Foster City, address as 823 Catamaran Street, zip code 94404. So and I click next. So now after entering the location details, the person could give the event name. For example, it is Indian Anglo food festival which is going on. So now this comes under the category food, so it's Anglo. Let's make it change. So hello. So now this is a custom view which I've used some libraries to build it. So it comes as a dialogue. It is a date picker dialogue which is being customized. So as 31st, and start time as at 1 o'clock, and this is minutes 1:45 for example, and end date time is same on 31st, and end time is on 4 o'clock and 4:30. Okay, so you could enter image URL here. You can just get some image or image which is related um over here. So enter here, and event price, for example, it's $20. Maximum capacity is 80. And then rating we could just put 9.0. And for video URL we can just get the ID. For example, if, since we've integrated YouTube, so we can get YouTube URL there, and you can try putting the YouTube URL there, and when you click submit, so this information, the new event that you have hosted, that is Indian Anglo event, has been it goes, and everybody could see that you have hosted the event, and they'll do the same process what we have shown before. So when you click on food, you could see the Indian Anglo food